You see, I try to tell y'all to calm down and that things are going to be okay. Like it's not the end of the world. And then people still call me. I'm not going to say these names because I might get blocked on YouTube, but people say these things. And it's crazy that YouTube allows people to say things to me, but I can't say them back, or then they block what I got to say. YouTube, I mean, fair is fair. If they can say it, I can't say it back. I'm just saying. But sometimes you just got to relax. You got to relax and let things play out. I got to admit, this chapter did make me a bit anxious, a bit uneasy considering how it ended. And we're going into a break, which we expected. 3 chapters in a row. Oda needs his break. I get that. However, going back to last week, a lot of people were upset based on what transpired, Bonnie going to Gear 5. Right? This free form. And so now this chapter, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Let me know before we get into this. Because I feel like everything that happened, all right, not everything that happened, not every single thing. A lot of the things that happened is just kind of like, bro, this was kind of obvious. Like Bonnie doing one attack, then going out of it. I believe I said damn near specifically is going to be minimal. Like it's not going to be a lot. But we're not here to gloat. We're here to talk about the chapter. All right, One Piece chapter 1119. Mixed. Interracial on this one. Too much? All right, chapter's called Emeth. We've had some weird chapter titles. But Emeth, I was like, all right, maybe is it backwards? Is it? I don't know. Got into it. Cover story, Yamato. She's getting stoned by people who clearly were terrorized by Kaido. You got to take it. It is what it is. You got to take it on the chin. You got to take it on the horns, wherever. It's not a good thing, but this is something I like to see considering how Kaido terrorized that country for 2 decades plus. Yes, you're gonna have some people that feel some type of way about his daughter. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're fighting the urge. Don't do it, please. Let's not do that today. I like seeing it because it's the continuity of the series. The lore, it makes the world feel alive because this is how people are supposed to react to Yamato. Now, seeing this isn't the only thing I think about, because now I think about Tama as well, because people may know, or they might not, because Oda revealed this in SBS, I believe. Tama is confirmed a Kurozomi. Yes, I know. Yamato saying all that stuff. It does feel a different type of way knowing Tama is a Kurozomi. I don't think a lot of people will find out that Tama is a Kurozomi, but what if they do? What if they find out Tama is a Kurozomi? Now they're going to throw her, they're going to boil her, they're going to stone her. I like this because of where it's going, and it's showing real pain. People are still recovering. That doesn't just go away, right? She helped save the country, but still a lot of people are like, you're Kaido's daughter. How we don't know you're not going to try to enslave us. So this pilgrimage is necessary for her to show the people that she's not like her father. I'm starting to see the layout or the purpose of Yamato traveling throughout Wano now. Like them stoning her, it's like, okay, I can see the apprehension for her as a character, her as a person. Like I have to show I have to touch the people before they touch me. Right? So loved it. So yeah, great start. Then, well, let's talk about it. It continues being great, right? So, you thought I wasn't gonna. Kaku and Stussy has been a side story that I've semi-cared about because Stussy ended up being a pretty interesting character. Kaku's always been that, or been Straw Hat-esque for me. Kaku, the character, feels like a Straw Hat that's not a Straw Hat. That's what he embodies. The whole purpose of this scene is to show that they are actually friends, because Kaku's telling Stussy to get out of here, and Stussy's crying because she understands what Kaku's trying to do. Kaku's like, yo, I respect you. You were relentless as an associate. Once Lucci comes back, he's putting these claws in your ass. Like, you got to get out of here. And Stussy saw right through it. You can see Kaku's face. It is bothering him saying these things because he cares about Stussy. They spent real time together. Not sure how much time they spent alone, if you know what I mean. But they spent real time together. He cares about the relationship. He cares about her enough to say, get out of here. Get out of here. Rob Lucci's not like me. Rob Lucci's not going to be the type of guy to say, hey, you know what, Stussy? You stabbed me in the back. Literally. You know what? Let's be friends. That's not what Lucci's gonna do. He's gonna Rokogan your ass out of there. You kind of deserve it, to be honest. So Kaku's trying to protect her by getting her out of there, and he values the friendship. Great scene. I can hear it with the One Piece music now. Toei just building it up. I can hear it now. I would like for Stussy and Kaku to reunite at some point, cover stories, some point, just to show and put a bow on this friendship. You want to see some things come full circle. We will see it in the future, because now Stussy, what's her purpose? She doesn't have Stella to serve anymore. She's no longer a member of CP0, obviously. What now? What does she do? Revolutionaries? Like, what's next for Stussy? That's something that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Now, as we continue, you know what this is like? Luffy and Bonnie together, right? Or Bonnie being in Gear 5. It reminds me of a time when I was younger, and like a friend would come over, a friend that I know is just like me, and I'm like, oh, we about to go crazy, right? You see the friend walking through the door, like say you're at camp or something, and a friend my boy is here. Oh, we about to go crazy. That's a Luffy's door. Luffy's like, oh, ooh, Ooh, baby. I really felt that. And Bonnie, you could tell she's super excited as well because this is her hero. And she has a chance to be on the stage, the main stage with her hero. So you love that. The energy, you love that. At the end of the day, the main takeaway I got from this scene is more Nika's more problems. That's what I thought of. I don't know how many people thought about that, but that's what I thought of. More Nika's more problems for the Marines and the world government, because you have two of these things now. One's real, one's, I don't want to say fake, but more of a temporary solution. So Mars is coming down. Two niggas? She made a facsimile of the real thing with her age powers. Look, bro, who says that anymore? Who still says facsimile? What are we doing? Like, what's up, bro? Does him saying this put people's minds at ease? No. I don't think anything really will for a lot of people, considering that they just don't like the concept of Bonnie using Gear 5, considering what Gear 5 is or meant to them. It's Luffy's peak. How can she do that? I mean, Luffy's the main character, so a lot of people hold Luffy to a certain standard, and honestly, they cherish him, which is fair. So anything that undermines Luffy in any way, could be Zoro, Sanji, Katakuri, people are going to feel some type of way about it because they feel like Luffy deserves that respect. When Katakuri was going crazy on Luffy in Whole Cake Island using his techniques, people did not like that because it was showing up Luffy. And in this way, people feel like it's showing up Luffy. But I think it's deeper than that, clearly. And bro, that is okay. Sometimes just not going to like stuff. And that's fine, bro. You can't force me to like prunes. You can't force me to like squash. Not saying I don't, but it's just certain things that you just don't like. And that's fine. In this instance, people don't like Bonnie going Gear 5, considering what Gear 5 has been built up to be. Shit, I get it. This isn't about dispelling those notions. This is just talking about what it is. Bonnie is a copy, a cheap copy, damn near. She can do one attack, not even a major attack. It's a regular Gear 3rd damn near punch. Elephant gun, that's it. Then she's like, You're like, well, she's 12 years old. Okay, let me make this statement. Bonnie will never, right? Will never get to as strong as Luffy is now. Hear me out? Bonnie will never get to as strong as Luffy is now. And Luffy, right? At this point, or rather, let me say, Bonnie using Gear 5 powers will never get strong to as where Luffy is now. And we know Luffy has way more to grow. Just take that into consideration. Never. And if that's what bothers you, I hope that at least makes you stop complaining about it and can just enjoy the story. She's never going to be as strong as Luffy is now. Cool? Can we shake hands on it? Cool. Because it's becoming like a drum beat. Like, oh my God, Luffy's this guy. Bonnie didn't earn it. Get out of here. People say Sanji didn't earn his powers. Like, he was just genetically modified. People say Zoro didn't earn Enma. People say Luffy didn't earn Gear 2nd. Earned can be manifested and explained in so many different ways. So many different ways. Sometimes you just gotta chill. That's how I feel about it. So Mars comes down and Luffy's like, well, the Goro said you can't just hurt them, right? No matter what you do to them, you can't hurt them. So how about you hurt me? All right. That sounds crazy, but that's literally what he said. Hurt me so that I can hurt him. So hit me so I can go at him at full force. So I can at least get him out of the fight. Smart thinking. Like Luffy instinctively, he thinks quick on his rubber. Like he does. So here we have it. Sanji and Frankie, they're down, right? And Bonnie's like, yo, whoa. This is my hero. You want us to attack him? They're like, yeah, can handle it. Don't worry about it. Ifrit, strongest attack. Frankie's like using a strong right. And it's like, what's the difference? It's not hockey. Is it just a more wind up? I don't know. And Bonnie, confirmed hockey user, 12 years old. Golly, a prodigy she is. I wonder if Blackbeard is going back and reading this chapter and Blackbeard is like, I probably should have had her on my crew, huh? I just gave her away for nothing because I didn't even get the ship. Bad trade, just bad dynasty trade. Luffy grabs onto Mars and it gives you some perspective of how big Luffy grew because Mars is gigantic. Remember that panel of Mars and all the other Goro say they are gigantic and Luffy just grabs the wings like, I got the bird. Now what we gonna do to it? They all attack Luffy and it's a bit of a convoluted situation because Sanji attacks, Frankie attacks, Bonnie attacks. Luffy's like, oh my God, this hurts. And it's like, well, why does it hurt? Well, you guys are using hockey. Who is using hockey? People are like, oh, Frankie, hockey confirmed? It's like, more than likely he's talking about Sanji and Bonnie, but I think it's even a bigger deal that Bonnie can use hockey at 12 years old, but she's lived a life. Yeah, she's lived a life. They end up aiding Luffy and he ends up using Booming Dawn Balloon, which sends Mars flying. He gets Team Rocketed out of there. He's blasting off again, which is kind of cartoony, but it's Gear 5. That's what happens. So he's gone. He's out of the fight, seemingly. Then we have a slew of transitions. We transition to Atlas, right? Which is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just they're talking about going to find Usopp and the others, and Atlas is the one that volunteered to go. I'm like, Sanji's right there. Sanji's the one he can probably get there faster, more efficiently. He's like, no, Atlas like, we'll go. So Atlas seemingly has a plan. I wonder exactly what this plan is. I wonder if Atlas bumps in New York and they end up taking each other out because, I mean, for the most part, the only satellite I expect going is Lilith. So we'll see. Like we expected, the robot is back up and talking, or not even talking. Vegapunk is speaking through the robot via the Denden Mushi. Nothing is being said, or a lot is being said, nothing is being understood. He says nothing of the sorts. That's why. That's why what? Then we go to Whole Cake Island. Yes, my voice and inflections got a bit harsher considering who was in Whole Cake Island. Katakuri. Most call him Godokuri, right? Some people are saying, yo, Katakuri doesn't have any bandages. Why would he have bandages? He was going against Oven, his younger brother, who is eon stronger than. It didn't bother him. It's plot. All right, it's plot. He's good. Katakuri is standing there. Ugh. People are saying, yo, why doesn't he have a fedora on? I'm like, yo, Katakuri gets a fedora. He's rocking that fedora. I'm disowning him. So I'm happy he wasn't rocking this damn fedora. They're just there taking in Vegapunk's speech, right? Because it's back on. Like, it's everything just snap back on, showing Whole Cake Island. And again, I'm never mad at the reactions, right? Just because that's some of the best parts of the story. We're getting how people feel about all the events that's going on. So seeing Katakuri, we didn't get much out of him, right? We got a dragon moment, just there looking cool. But I loved it. But the question is, okay, how is it back on if they destroyed the Iron Giant? And York, well, she gives an explanation. We do see Vivi and Big News as well. Wasn't anything significant, so it's not much to dwell on there. York is like, okay, y'all idiots. She didn't actually say that, but I'm sure she was thinking that because she said, you just interrupted the transmission. The snail's memory circuit was still intact, so you gotta take that out. And unless you do that, it's not gonna shut down for good. In the meantime, the transmission is still happening. So again, it's so much going on. You have to kind of read the chapter in different parts, focusing on different things. Because during the reactions, of course, previously, Vegapunk was talking about the will of D. He continues, and it's the intermission. It's kind of garbled. It's in and out. It says, you can call it a will. It's like, huh? What does that mean? You can call it a will. So the will of D, you can call it a will, quote unquote. A will is how it's interpreted, but it's more than likely something else. That's what I got from that. You can call it a will, but what? Then he goes on, and to those who has suffered from this, I can only pray my voice reaches you. And now I'm starting to kind of, my wheels are turning. Those who have suffered from this, the will of D. Who's D? And why are we continuing his will? His wishes, his goals, his dreams. People that sacrificed or suffered for that will, those dreams. Who's this D person? Is it Donald? Okay, anyway, we're not doing that. All right, Dune Man comes back. He just comes back and just spitting people out, right? Which is Sanji's dad, Jupiter, however you want to say it. Some people get mad when I say Jupiter. Some people get like, yo, it's Jupiter. Some people's like, yo, it's Sanji's dad. I'm like, all right, Sanji's dad. He comes back just spitting out everybody. I'm like, bro, where you been? Where you been at, dog? I ain't seen you in a minute. He comes back spitting people out and sucking people back up. He has such insane suction power. He's pulling ships backwards in the water. I'm like, Jesus, what do you have back there? It's insane. He's actually incredible. Luffy then gives him a good punch to kind of throw him off. And then, the giants say, yo, good job, nigga. And I'm just like, I'm not sure what that means on Elbaf, but guys, either way, you have Doll is like, yo, this is insane. We got a white warrior. We got CP0 agents that are raining down. My dreams aren't this wild. And when you think about it, it's crazy because right after that, you have a warthog or boar. You have Pumbaa, angry Pumbaa, coming out of nowhere and Luffy tagging him as well. But something that's interesting here is that Warcury kind of starts charging at them and jumps into the water. So I'm like, okay, confirmed. They don't have devil fruits. I know we felt that way already, but this told me like, okay, they definitely don't have devil fruits because the devil in the sea don't matter to them. They can do whatever. And that was insane. Now we get into a part that's like, okay, Oda, why you're playing with me again? Because we're going to break next week again, guys. We're going to break. Again, Bonnie's done. Bonnie did one attack and she's out. If that's the person you were worried about showing up Luffy, I don't know what to say, but that's just how I feel about it. We see something that says Joy Boy. Luffy reacts to it. We see the giants. The Iron Giant is back. And the Iron Giant, the name is Emeth. That's the name of the Iron Giant, seemingly. Now, something I brought up last week or week before last, or the week before that, I don't know. I said, okay, the Iron Giant, what is the consciousness? The sentience, what is it? We have a bunch of Alphonses walking around where their soul is then tied to this armor because they have consciousness. They can think, they can remember. It's not just armor. It's not just robots. They are sentient. So this is lending itself where it's like, it has a name. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Esdeath. It's Emeth. I guess that's the Emmet from back then. That's what they call Emmet back then. But he rises up and he punches Warcury breaks his tusk. Now, something to keep in mind that the Gorosei, they are not invulnerable, they just regen. So they can be damaged. It seems like they just regen constantly. So if this doesn't regen, if War Curie doesn't regen, then we're on to something here with the Iron Giant. But something else happens where seemingly Joy Boy is talking to Emeth now, saying the time is at hand. And then Emeth is like, what time? And they're seeing the Iron Giant, and Luffy's like, robot. And the Giant's like, yo, what the hell is that? So that's the end of the chapter. How do I feel about it? It feels a bit disjointed. It feels a bit draggy, not gonna lie. And of course, I want some more information from the message. Overall, though, it's a shorter chapter, 13 pages apparently. And you can tell that Oda is trying to pack this chapter as much as possible. But what I'm thinking about is, do we get the message here? I've built up expectations based on how Vegapunk set this up, saying, we're gonna tell you something amazing. But then we got stalled at the beginning, we got stalled in the middle, now we get stalled at the end. And so I feel like I'm waiting for something that's not going to happen. So it's like, okay, do I just focus on other things, or do I hyper fixate on this message that's not really a message, but it's just like a bunch of stuff? Oda, like, he's so good at this because we're going to break again. So I don't know. Guys, give me your thoughts. I felt like this chapter was one of those that provided so many things, but we really didn't advance with much. Yes, you can say Joy Boy is saying it's time. We've been hearing it's time for a long time. So what happens now? So yeah, give me your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at BroccoDAce. Follow me on Instagram, BroccoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. We're on there a lot if you want to check out anything. Of course, the current season of anime, old anime, it's all there. So no chapter for a while. I will be putting out more stuff, so stay tuned. Some One Piece live action information is out, so we got some stuff to talk about. Give me your thoughts, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.